Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I've got a video for you of Apex Legends tips and tricks. I don't think it's any secret to any of you guys that I've been playing this game a lot in my spare time, streaming it for the channel and everything. I've been playing it for both PC and PlayStation 4, so the tips I'm giving you today will work on any system. However, the gameplay today is all PC because the gameplay last time was all PS4. Let's go ahead and jump into tip number 1, which is almost like 10 tips in and of itself. There's a lot of subsections, and tip number 1 is that high DPS weapons rule this game. High DPS is more important than damage per shot, range, handling, or attachments. It's more important than just about any other weapon attribute because characters tend to have a lot of health, fights tend to be extended, and having that high DPS weapon means that you can more favorably trade with your enemies. So when it comes to what weapons you want to be looking for, I'm going to strongly encourage in the submachine gun category the R99 submachine gun. It is by far the best, just head and shoulders above every other SMG. The Prowler is okay, but only with the fully automatic mod, and that alternator is a rough one. Avoid that one if you can. In the rifle category, the R301 rifle is once again by far the best. It not only has the biggest magazine potential, but it has the best handling, highest rate of fire, by far the highest DPS. I would tell you to only use the Hemlock and Flatline if you don't have other ranged guns. The R301 should be your priority. In the light machine gun category, both of them are exceptionally good. The Devotion DPS is absolutely insane when you put that moderator on there so it doesn't have to spin up. However, I will say that the Spitfire is all around better because it has lower recoil, easier handling, faster reload, more common ammo, and you don't have to have the operator mod thingy to make it that cool. Sniper rifles, unfortunately, are not super important in this game. If you like to snipe, if you like to go for picks and stuff, you're probably going to have a bad time. They're really just good for weakening enemies out of range before you move in and finish them off. Shotguns are very meta and very important. In my opinion, the EV8 auto shotgun is the best overall. You can win trades with it very, very effectively. However, I will say that the Peacekeeper with the choke attachment that allows you to charge it is really nasty for one-shots and has a surprising range to it as well. Obviously, the gold shotgun, the Mastiff, is great, and in the sniper category, the gold Kraber is really good too. But when it comes down to it, I think the EV8 is by far the best shotgun, and in the pistol category, the Wingman is one of the best weapons in the game. The Wingman pistol, which is the revolver pistol, is overlooked by almost everybody, but it has really good DPS, it's really accurate, it's really easy to use, it has an attachment that gives it extra damage headshots, it's super, super strong, and the RE45 auto pistol is underrated as I use it more like a submachine gun. The other pistol, the P2020, poo, don't use that one, avoid it. So yeah, go for the highest DPS guns you can. Tip number 2 is that the best way to drop is with a goofy stair-step method. I learned this one on the Apex Legends subreddit. A lot of people like to drop and fly straight out, or they'll just go straight down. They'll wait for the plane to take them where they need to go, but that is not the best strategy at all. You want to drop and go straight down for just a little bit, then pull up and out, and you'll have additional speed and momentum, and then as you begin to slow down, go down again, and then out again, and that works better than going at any angle, better than straight down, better than straight across. You kind of go down, out, down, out, down, out, down, out, and it works the best. Also, please pick your location fast. Being late to any landing location is just guaranteed death. The loot is very stingy early game. You do not want to be caught picking through another team's scraps or being chased by somebody who has a gun when you have nothing but harsh language to defend yourself with. So if you end up being jump master, don't dilly-dally, just pick your spot and go. Tip number 3 is a surprising one for a team-based game, and that's that team composition does not matter. And you wouldn't think that would be true because it's supposed to have some hero shootery kind of elements like Siege or like Rainbow Six or Call of Duty or like every other game now, but it really doesn't matter what character you pick. You do not need to pick a character to complement your team. You should play whoever you're best at. If you're best at Gibraltar, great, play Gibraltar. If you like Bloodhound, great, play Bloodhound. If you like playing Caustic, even though he's probably one of the weaker ones at the moment, play Caustic. You don't have to worry about not having a DPS on your team. You don't have to worry about not having a medic guy on your team. You don't have to worry about anything. You can just play it, and it's fine. Every character has good abilities. They can all work well with other characters. It's about how you use them and not what you're using in this particular game. Also, your gun skill is probably going to carry you further than your character abilities. So just play what you're good at and don't overthink it. Composition isn't really important right now. Tip number 4 is that you should use your enemy ping as often as possible, but don't mix it up with the regular pings. There's always that guy, and I found this more on PlayStation than on PC, the guy that doesn't understand the difference between the enemy ping and the location ping. So he wants to go somewhere and he just pings it with enemies and we all rush over there to fight, but there's nothing to fight. Don't be that guy. Don't do that. Don't mix up your pings. But the enemy ping is extraordinarily important when you're going to get ready for a fight. The very second, instant even that you see an enemy, ping him. I don't care if he's 300 yards out, you ping him and you let your teammates know exactly where they're at, then come up with a plan, then go fight. And the reason for this is twofold, but both of them have to do with asymmetrical information. Number 1 is that the enemy will probably see you too, call you out, and ping you. So the enemy team will ping you before you ping them. It's just a safe way to think about it. And they will know exactly where your squad is, and they will be thinking about ways that you are going to come fight them or how they're going to get to you. If you don't ping them back, then you are going to be at an informational disadvantage. Similarly, if you want to go kill people, you want your teammates to truly see where the enemies are. You want them to know the range, the location, the exact spot on the map. You want them to be able to snap to attention just like trained soldiers and be ready to kill people, because team fire and DPS is so important for gunfights. Apex Legends gives you no excuse whatsoever for bad callouts like, over there by that tree, he's by the rocks, they're in the water, they're over here, hey man, they're over here, he's in the house. And these callouts work pretty good in real life when you can point and say here and people can look, but in video game land it doesn't matter. So Respawn gave you the tools to make a perfect callout with one button. I strongly encourage that you use it. Tip number 5 is that after you've had a successful fight, you should loot very fast. Even if you don't get all the goodies, even if you didn't check everything in the box, get what you need for the next fight as fast as humanly possible, because the next fight is probably on its way already. Most teams in Apex Legends love to scavenge fights because of the relatively high mobility of the game, the zip lines, the range you can see people, and because you can hear the gunfights pretty far away. It's not as bad in the beginning, but especially like late game, there's a lot of scavenging, and most of your deaths in Apex Legends will be from scavengers interrupting your fight. At least that's been my experience so far. My experience is that it is more dangerous to finish a fight with low health and need to loot and heal than it is to just pick a fight with like the most baddest assed people in the game, because you can beat them but you can't beat getting shot in the back. So as soon as you finish your fight, you want to get to those boxes, you want to loot them really fast, get what you need, and don't overthink it. One of my pet peeves in this game, something that drives me crazy, is to see my teammates slowly picking through each box and just standing still at one box, scrolling through, deciding if they want the ultimate accelerant, or if they want the lodestar, or if they're going to change guns, and just kind of, they act like they're going on an all-day shopping trip to Walmart and they want to browse every item in the store. If you do that, you will guaranteed die. You have to loot fast and get ready for another team to move in. Tip number 6 is that even in Apex Legends with the higher mobility, there's still a ton of cover, and high ground matters in this game too. Climbing on top of a building, a rock, or something during a fight is a very good idea. Elevation is still your friend, and this tip can basically be summed up as, hey, don't forget you can climb. This is also relevant to your escapes. Hey, don't forget that you can climb somewhere to escape an enemy, that you can jump to no infinite fall damage, that you can go to a zip line, which you should be aware of because almost every area in the map has zip lines that offer some sort of insane mobility, and you move pretty fast. Most people won't be able to pick you off of a zip line. Now, if you're coming like straight at them, maybe, but most of the time when you hop on the zip line, they're only going to be able to hit you once or twice. Knowing where the zip lines are and where they go offers you and your team a lot of opportunity to both escape and attack. So what I've had a lot of success doing is taking a zip line about halfway to where I want to go, jumping off, landing on a roof or climbing on a roof, and flanking enemies at unusual angles where they can't shoot back very easily because I have the high ground. That is going to help you a lot. Tip number 7, and this should almost go without saying, but a lot of us have been playing Call of Duty for so long, headshots matter a lot in this game. Headshots are roughly 1.5 or double damage depending on the weapon. Some weapons have more than double damage headshots, and headshots are the way to go. This is one tip that I know, but I don't instinctively do. As a Call of Duty player, I'm still trained to go for body shots and just hit chest and legs and whatever, but this game isn't Call of Duty. You can't shoot somebody 7 times in a crotch and have it be as good as 7 headshots. You could kill somebody maybe 3 headshots or 7 to the crotch. So headshots will tilt gunfights and DPS trades to your advantage very, very quickly. Go for them if you can, especially if you have a shotgun or wingman or something like that. And finally, our last tip of the day is a very small one, and that tip is it's nice to use weapons with ammo types that your team isn't running a whole lot of. If everybody on your team all wants to run heavy ammo, or they all want to have like 2 light ammo guns, or there's 3 guys and all of you have 2 devotions and 1 triple take or something, you're not going to have enough of that energy ammo to go around. You're not going to have enough heavy or light. You need to kind of have an idea of what your team is running so that when you kill enemy teams, you pick up enough loot to have enough ammo to be effective. Light ammo being most likely the least problematic among this, along with shotgun ammo, except people tend to not carry shotguns that late in the game, which is a little bit strange because shotguns are amazing. But just something to keep in mind. One of the things I've been doing a lot is I've been running a lot of light ammo, so because a lot of my teammates prefer the heavy weapons, or if I do run heavy, I'm probably just going to run it in a wingman, which is a godly gun in and of itself, but the wingman doesn't require very much, so I don't need to share. It's not the biggest, most impactful tip, but it is something to keep an eye on so that you can manage your resources better. Guys, that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out. That's 2 down.
Reloading.
You want to push in?
Enemies. Throwing arc star.
Right side over here. One shot. Literally 1 shot. Huge plays. Yeah, how many kills you got?
Very good game.